Coming live from our studios in Belize City, this is the evening news for today, Friday, September 16th. We'll get started with what's making the news today. In the headlines, churches file appeal on Section 53 ruling. BNTU president says teachers will protest on Monday in Belmopan despite threats from the Ministry of Education. House collapses in Belize City, injuring a few, and freak accident in Corozal town leaves one man dead. Paperwork to appeal the controversial Section 53 ruling has been filed at the Registry of the Supreme Court of Belize. The Office of the Attorney General of Belize has filed an application to partially appeal Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin's ruling on Section 53. The government's application to appeal solely deals with the word sex and its expanded meaning, which the CJ gave it. The CJ concluded that sex is equal to sexual orientation. The government's application opened the doors for the Roman Catholic Church to appeal as an interested party. The Roman Catholic Church is appealing the entire decision. The National Evangelical Association of Belize has also filed its paperwork asking the courts to be an interested party in the appeal. The association plans to appeal the decision in its entirety as well. Attorneys Dickie Bradley, Christopher Coy, and Michelle Shabat have been hired to represent the Roman Catholic Church. Attorney Dickie Bradley is also representing the National Evangelical Association of Belize, but he is doing so free of cost.
There has been two historic meetings between the leaders of perhaps all the churches in Belize. There have been two historic meetings between all the churches in Belize, the Methodists, Anglicans, Roman Catholics, the Evangelicals, all the churches who are in fact the guardians of our morals. The churches are not the guardians, the courts are not the guardians of our morals. They are the guardians of our constitutional rights. The churches met with the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and then there was a subsequent meeting arising out of those two amicable meetings. A decision was reached in which the Prime Minister, who had informed the nation that he saw no reason to appeal the decision and that there was no legal grounds on which to appeal, has in fact informed that in relation to in his words, an expanded definition of the word sex. I think you are familiar with that word there, Jules. You could slice this out of the report. But that sex includes a person's sexual orientation. That is a decision with far-reaching implication in our young society in Belize. And the churches are of the view, as is the Prime Minister, the churches held to this view the very day the decision was announced. It's important for us to make this point, that the churches were always of the view that the word sex, which appears in a particular section of the Constitution of Belize, that no one and no law can discriminate against any person on the basis of your race, your creed, your color, your place of origin, and your political opinion, that is the word used in the Constitution, and your sex. You cannot be discriminated. So that His Lordship the Chief Justice, in making a decision that gay people in Belize cannot be discriminated against because the term sex now includes this modern version that it is your sexual orientation.
Pastor Lance Lewis and Pastor Scott Sturm spoke on the importance of the appeal.
I'm happy. I'm glad that we've got our foot in the door again, and I'm very, very happy. This is a day for us as a church to be able to take a strong stand, particularly for family protections. And I think that people have tried to wrongfully paint this as people trying to dictate what's happening in the bedroom. For us, it's not about that at all. What it's about is protecting the children and the agenda that goes after the curriculums and education. And so we feel a very, very sober responsibility to take a very, very strong stand in that area, and that's what it's about for us.
Last week, Friday, was a bit sticky because when he went around the table, he had said that there was a hindrance now. We cannot move forward without a consensus. We still stuck to our idea of wanting a full appeal, and eventually something shifted, and I think as a result of God hearing and answering our prayers, and the Prime Minister came around to say that yes, we can appeal because they are going to appeal a section of it, but we are appealing the full, making a full appeal. So we think that God came to our aid and we see a sense of victory. We are now filing our case today, and we believe that God will do the rest for us.
Pastor Lance Lewis and Pastor Scott Sturm spoke on the importance of the appeal, and according to Lewis and Sturm, they do not hate homosexuals and they are all for human rights, but gay rights are not human rights.
We fully support human rights. We believe that with all of our hearts. Our Constitution defends human rights, and part of our whole point in this area is that everybody has human rights. The only thing you need to qualify is to be a human. And so, but what this issue is about is actually, it's the redefining and the reinterpretation. It's people have painted the picture that the Chief Justice ruling was very narrow in a specific area. Our attorneys and we feel, no, it was a very broad ruling with an open-ended blank check. And so yes, human rights for everybody. And I saw on the news, Caleb Orozco was talking about people being denied, access to health care or whatever. What we're saying is we have laws already in our country that forbid those things from happening. Press the button and take action. But to swing the whole thing into a reinterpretation of special human rights, that's what we're calling it. It's special human rights. And so we find it to be inaccurate and inappropriate and actually in violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
So when you say human rights, do you include gay rights?
Gay rights is not a human right.
We're talking about human rights for humans.
Yeah.
Gay rights are for gays.
Right.
Okay, we're talking
Gays are not human.
Gays
No,
are
we're
human.
not. That's not what we said. When you're talking about gay rights, you're talking about special rights for one special group of people. We're talking about human rights for all
everybody.
humans.
And that applies to the gays. The human rights appeals and applies to the gays.
The process can take months, if not years. The appellants are seeking for leave to appeal at the moment, and if that leave is granted, then their points will be ventilated in the Court of Appeal. A number of Corozal residents were left in shock last night when a man lost his life in what has been described as a freak accident. Residents had gathered at the Corozal Town Central Park for what was called College Night. But before the festivities got underway, a freak accident claimed the life of 40-year-old Juan Carlos Mesquita. Mesquita, who was a welder, was one of a team of men hired to install a metal flagpole at the park for the upcoming September celebrations when things went horribly wrong. Contractor Ario Botes tells us what happened.
And last night we was standing up a pole, right? A pole of the flag, about 80 feet high. Right? And we don't have it up, right? And then a big wind comes, and then it just move it off on balance, right? And then it snap the boom what we have well for lift it up, right? Because it's not up already. But the breeze come and blew the top part, and then everything snap and break, right? And the pole drops, right? And my worker, he was standing up close to the fire cliff, right? But I don't know what happened. I don't know if he get frightened. I don't know. But he run maybe 100 feet to towards the pole what was striking. Alright? You understand?
I don't understand.
He moved from the Tonghans. He ran from front of the Tonghans to the pole what dropped about 100 feet. He run to meet the post. I don't know what happened. We can't understand up to now. Because he worked for me a good while, and everybody have experience, right? But, if something will drop, get close to the fire tree, because the fire tree will take care of it, right? Anything could drop around it, but we will not get damaged. Because all of my workers was around the fire tree. I don't know how he moved from around the workers, and he ran directly to full, right? We called the ambulance, no, but because the police were, everybody was there, you know, a lot of crowd was there, and the police, they come, a lot of police come, and they just take care of the body, right? Because we have a live wire, we bought a live wire, right, that was firm. So we couldn't move the body because the live wire was in the ground then. So the police just circled out of the body and the wire to make nobody pass through. And the detail truck tech will give it 15 or 20 minutes to reach right, to come and fix the problem. And from there, call the ambulance because the same police truck would back the body and put it on the police truck and carry it to the drive. Well, I would tell you something. He's like my son. He's not like my worker. He's like my son. He started to work for me when he was 15 years. Okay? I grow him, I teach him, I do everything with him, right? So he's my main man. He goes anywhere I go out, he goes with me. In any part of Belize, he was close to me. It's not like a worker then. I never treat him like a worker. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I really damaged bad. It's like one son of me died. That's why I like my worker, like a son. I always take care of all of them.
As a result of the incident, the planned activity was cancelled. This afternoon, a house on Dolphin Street, Belize City, fell due to heavy damages sustained during Hurricane Earl. The house was the base used for the carnival group Soca Mocha. 7 people lived in the house, 5 adults and 2 children. 5 of them were inside and sustained injuries when the house fell. The house had been destabilized by a lamppost that fell during Hurricane Earl. BEL repaired the house, but the house was leaning. The family had been living in the house for 13 years. Daughter of the owner of the house, Shandy Tillett, spoke with us and told us that they had repeatedly visited the National Emergency Management Organization to ask for assistance.
Down in my house in the back doing nails because I live in the back house, and I saw my little sister coming towards my house. Same time the house fell on her, she managed to crawl out. Other people was under there get hurt a lot. My mom, I don't know if her nose bridge broke or anything because her nose bleeding and swole. A girl, Debbie, her body broke up because the house set on top of her back. Other people crying and stuff. Miss, we have Carnival and Juve tomorrow, and I don't know if we could make it in anything. I'm just be honest, but I hope we make it. The next thing is we went to Nemo over and over from the hurricane done. The long post managed to drop for the hurricane and pull my mom's house on a slant. So we went there the following week and we tell them come and fix our house. They didn't reach. So we went again last week Friday. When we went again last week Friday, they told us they're coming because the thing already in process. We wait and they didn't show up. So when we went again, my mom went again this Monday. And then they tell Mama, yes, the house will be ready in the week. So when they tell we that, me and my mom even drop our eye water in front of those people, miss, for them to come and fix our house. My mom lost her whole household stuff, miss, and I think we need a lot of help. I blame them for it because they say they're coming to fix it, miss. I don't know if it's because we're PUP, or my mom is PUP, because nobody know who I am or who I vote for another day. I don't know if because my mom are PUP, they don't want to come and fix it. Because housing, the thing was in housing hand, they say, when we went to Nemo. So I think that's about it. But I just pray everybody okay. We do get hurt because people get their hand hurt, their foot hurts. I pray everything go okay and we can manage to dance our carnival tomorrow. I'm begging for help. We need a lot of things. If you no could reach me, call me on 629-1978. But all I beg for assistance. Miss, we lost everything. TV, everything. Gone. I don't want to cry, but it's hurt to see my mom out the door.
Love News was on the scene when Councillor Philip Willoughby arrived and the sister of the owner of the house got into a confrontation with him.
I tell you by the end of this week to next week, they may come fix or solve or resolve the issue with the house, correct? That is the truth, right? No politics, no, because my office, I just have a meeting and we get this sense like it's...
Everybody know this is a carnival week.
Yes, ma'am.
So they couldn't think about come fix nothing carnival week when they know we got a group of go out every year.
No, but
traditionally. And you know nothing stop we from go out there. So they couldn't talk about come fix this in a weekend.
No. I
That
said
van
this
they-
week to next,
to next week. But look how long the hurricane gone. You know much house just roof to fix when it's necessary right now. This may need attendance when lean over. This lean over. You understand? And the people there, then people don't have nowhere to go.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't have nowhere to go. Which part of me go? You may have put them somewhere? I ask some question.
No, make I
No, I
answer
just
the
ask-
question. Make I answer
yeah.
the question. 3:30 the morning, hurricane early morning, the Wednesday. I drove on the street.
I know.
Correct?
And I show you the
Later on,
picture too.
I showed the picture
Yes,
when
you show
I
the
was
picture.
here when the lamppost broke.
Yes,
And I come back and I said,
And the next morning, she said to the electricity board, on why I pull over my house. He tell her. Nobody
so we
respond.
knew, so we
yes,
knew.
you know, come on and see it, but nobody do nothing.
Correct. But what we are saying, this situation, first of all, isn't a political one. So make we rule that out.
Okay, well, I rule out the
That we
political.
rule that
All
out
right.
one time.
Good.
Because I was the first one here, correct?
All right.
This week now, the NEMA folks, the engineers and the other coordinators came. They spoke with whoever was in the yard at the
Mrs.
time and said to her, within this week to next week, we would have attended to the home. Correct?
I never there. My sister gonna tell you, girl nose broke. That's why I had to talk to you.
Okay, so I'm sharing with you and the public what that discussion entailed.
Okay.
So we know a debate and say whatever, and still yet come next week, we want still come deal with the home.
Members of the family feel they have been victimized and were not given priority because of their political affiliation. Councillor Willoughby tried to appease the family by saying that their house will be built by next week.
I am saying they were forewarned by the experts, the engineers. Warnings were given. You honor those warnings until the requisite qualified people to deal with the structure could have dealt with it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying I feel like I should work faster because you don't explain that to my sister, but I know my sister explained to her that you don't have no extra go and need a place. So you don't say whatever. You don't have a nice house on a Levina. You don't have a nice house. All you don't have a nice house on a Levina.
No, you're mistaken, sir. That ain't true.
That ain't true.
That ain't true. That's not true.
Mama show color blue.
Well, ma'am, I am saying, regardless of political sway, the people house want to get deal with. Regardless of after anything else that is said here. Bottom line.
Can you assure that that will happen, and by when will that happen?
That was the instructions.
By when will it happen?
I'm hoping that sometime during the course of next week.
The Soka Moka House was one of the Juve stops tomorrow, and everyone is unsure as to how the event will go now, as the mud made for the event is still under the house. The teachers will take to the streets of Belmopan on Monday, and the Ministry of Education is doing all it can to keep classes open. The ministry blasted off a release late yesterday evening in which it reminded teachers, especially those who will demonstrate on Monday, that they might not get paid for that day. President of the Belize National Teachers Union, Luke Palacio, says the teachers are aware of that.
The rules are clear. Rule 102 in the Education Amendment Rules makes it absolutely clear that teachers who go on strike may lose salary. So, and we've said this to our teachers every time we take such action. So our teachers, it's not that our teachers are not unaware. What has become so sad though is that the minister and the Ministry of Education has decided that they are going to try to intimidate. In fact, they have gone as far as to threaten the principals of schools. Our message to those principals is this: you are an employee just like all our teachers are. You have a management, and we say to them, we've said to the teachers, you will go, you will inform your management. The union has done so. A copy of that letter that was sent to management was also sent to the media, so I trust you all have a copy, that they have been informed. Our teachers' responsibility, our principal's responsibility will be to go to the manager and say, the keys are here, I am participating in my union's activity. We are not saying to anybody that we are shutting down the schools. The memo clearly states our teachers will be participating in a demonstration, so they will not be in school. If the minister believes that they can go and staff the schools, then let them do so. And we need to make it again abundantly clear to our individual teachers and principals that when they get into trouble with the same ministry, with the same government people, with the same ministry, senior management officials, whoever of them, because I know that it is not all of them that are involved in this type of intimidation that they are attempting at. They will turn those individuals who are aggrieved, will come to the union. So we are saying to our teachers, we are saying to our members, we are saying to the principals, stand up with your teachers, stand up with your union, stand up for Belize.
In its release, the Ministry of Education warned all school principals they do not have the legal standings to cancel classes or to inform the student body that there will be no classes on Monday. Any principal who issues out such memo will be dealt with accordingly. According to the release, Palacio views this as a threat.
I'm not saying it's a subtle threat, it's a threat. Because you've said to the principals that you don't have this right to do this, and if you do, you'll be disciplined. The ministry doesn't employ principals. The management of schools employ individuals. Those individuals that are employed, there's a recommendation that goes to the Teaching Service Commission from the managements for them to employ or be given permission to employ those teachers. They are not, so it is not the ministry that employs. Even in the case of government schools, there are, in the case of the government secondary schools, there is a board of governors that recommends persons for employment. Not the minister, not the ministry. And even in the case of government schools, there is a general manager of government schools.
How many teachers do you expect to see on Monday?
We don't give out numbers because that is what persons would want to hear. And if we were to give a number that is not realized, then you hear, oh, Bonham said that so much. What we can say to you, that our teachers will be out there in their numbers.
Palacio says they had a few obstacles in obtaining their permit for Monday's demonstration.
The obstacle we faced and we continue to face, this is not the first time that BNTU has been undertaking this activity. In fact, we've done this so many times, so we understand the procedure very well. And the procedure is that you must apply for a bond to hold a national demonstration or any protest action, if you will, that will have a gathering. We were first told by some police officer that we are to pay them $2,500 cash up front before they even consider. A bond is a document that you sign, and the condition of that bond is that if you break any of the conditions of this bond, then you will be fined. Then you can be fined. Then you need to pay that money that they would have determined needs to be paid. It is the first time that we are getting this type of resistance. The other resistance we are getting is in using a public address system on the floor, on the steps of the National Assembly. Again, why is that? They don't want the people to hear the message? Is there somebody higher up in authority giving them such instructions? We consider that to be every effort by the state, because the police are agents of the state, an attempt at trying to silence the Belizean people. But we are trying to work out some alternatives, and hopefully we'll have those in place for Monday.
Minister of Education Patrick Faber had stated that he believes that BNTU is politically motivated. Palacio said those assertions are absurd.
The minister can allege whatever he wants. His stance is political. Don't let him try and pass that on to anybody else. He wants to make this a political issue. It is not. He must remember, and we keep on saying it, in 2005, he and a caller this morning reminded him, in 2005, he was adamant, he was in front with the same BNTU fighting the same issues. What did the opposition at the time say? The BNTU is UDP. So that is the reality in Belize. If you oppose a government, you are not opposing a government per se, but you oppose the things they are doing and you are exposing it, then you are considered opposition. So let it be. But as far as I am concerned, we are fighting for this nation, we are fighting for our children.
Has anyone from the BNTU, including yourself, met with anyone from the opposition party?
To do what?
Recently.
To do what?
To discuss international
No,
issues.
we haven't had any meeting with any opposition.
And we will be in Belmopan on Monday and will keep you updated. In its letter to the Prime Minister, Dean Barrow, the BNTU had 8 requests, one of which was to conduct an international investigation into the Danny Mason case, including the beheading of Pastor Llewellyn Lucas. The BNTU believes that the government ministers had some public officers have apparent connection and involvement in this scandalous matter. But PM Barrow was confused with this particular request. In his response, he stated, and we quote, "The wording here is confusing, and I am not sure whether the international investigation you want is into the murder of Pastor Lucas or the apparent connection and involvement of ministers with Danny Mason. Perhaps you want both, but you certainly need to clarify," end of quote. Palacio says the union's request is quite clear.
The request is that there be an international investigation into the whole matter of the beheading of Pastor Lucas and the allegations that have been made that high-ranking government officials, including ministers and public officers, are associated with Danny Mason, and we cannot afford to continue to make these things go just unnoticed, unaddressed. So there is, I see what I cannot understand, what he's saying when he needs some clarity. We are asking for international investigation on the whole Mason case, including the Pastor Lou case and the allegations being made against those persons who have been beneficiaries.
In the next few weeks, Mirab will embark on a campaign to assist hurricane victims. Yesterday, they got off to a head start, as we hear in this report from Ingrid Fernandez.
Almost 2 months ago, Hurricane Earl passed over Belize and affected many families. Although many of the victims have been assisted, there are still families trying to get back on their feet. That is why Love Foundation partnered with Mirab to donate much-needed furniture to 5 families affected by Hurricane Earl. Executive Director of Love Foundation, Deborah Sewell, spoke about the current situations of many victims.
What people don't realize, the hurricane has come and gone, and a lot of people don't realize that there's still people who have roofs that are not on their homes are still leaking, and there's NEMA is really overwhelmed. There's a lot going on right now, but they're very organized, and so being able to see, families come out of the shelter, families who have young children. One of our recipients has a 1-month-old child. So families who have young children come out of the shelters and be able to be in something that's comfortable is really heartwarming. So I'm just happy that that Mirab was able to partner with us for us to be able to make their lives a little bit more comfortable.
Spokesperson for Mirab, Carla Iris Musa, told us the initiative is part of a larger campaign called We Are One. Through this campaign, Mirab plans to donate furniture to more hurricane-affected families.
What we're doing is that after seeing the need, we realized that there needed to be a bigger scale project. So what we've done is that Mirab has teamed up with Ashley Furniture and also with Love FM, and in a couple weeks we are going to be launching the We Are One campaign. We felt that it was important that after seeing how much need these 5 families were in, that we could give that opportunity to other families who were affected by Hurricane Earl. So in a couple weeks, we're going to be launching this on a much larger scale. So the actual value of what was given today is included in the value of something that will be much larger. So it's really a team effort here, and Mirab was very grateful that Ashley Furniture, as well as a U.S.-based mattress company that the store works with, and Love, were all willing to partner to be able to make this a possibility for all the other families that, may need to help. And we want to be able to help as many families as we can.
Love News was on hand while some of the furniture was being delivered. We spoke with a couple of grateful families. Mother of 3, Maria Arana, and the mother of a 10-month-old baby, Claudia Belial, expressed their feelings.
I can't even begin to explain it. Like I had to tell the people like, in the eyes, so overjoyed and so ecstatic. I don't even know how I feel right now. It just that was feeling that you have this for you own it for all we gone through back here I just like to thank Miss Sabrina and Miss Pook I like to thank me Rob for my furnitures because man this I don't even know what to say. This just I overjoyed because we really need it back here.
I don't know how to explain myself, but I thank them very much. Because this was a surprise. So we can't never expect it. But anyway, I get it and thank them for it. Thank very, very much. Thanks Miss Dana Pope. Thanks Miss Saverina. Thanks everybody who helped me. I thank them very, very much at the bottom of my heart.
The We Are One campaign is scheduled to officially begin on the first week of October. Reporting for Love News, I am Ingrid Furlong.
Also today at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts in Belize City, 21 persons were recognized during the special ceremony. Ambassador of the Embassy of Republic of China, Taiwan, Benjamin Ho, and Dr. Jane Usher received their Order of Distinction, while 19 Belizeans were recognized and bestowed upon the Meritorious Order Award. Governor General of Belize, Sir Colville Young, spoke on what it takes to receive such awards and recognized the awardees.
They have contributed their time, energy, and intelligence, often at great sacrifice to themselves, to making Belize a better place for all our people. Now, therefore, by the power vested in me as Governor General and acting on the advice of the Prime Minister, Honorable Dean Barra, and on behalf of a grateful nation, I proclaim that national awards be vested upon Ambassador Benjamin Ho, the Order of Distinction, Dr. Jane Usher, the Order of Distinction, Maria Elena Sylvester, Meritorious Service Award, Dalila Norris JP, Meritorious Service Award, Nevis Felicia Nunes, Meritorious Service Award, Beverly Swayze, Meritorious Service Award, Lotte Pauline Flores, Meritorious Service Award, Alicia Andrea Harrison, Meritorious Service Award, Sister Josefina, or is that Josefina Alamia, Meritorious Service Award, Vilma Bailey, Meritorious Service Award, Geraldine Mai, Meritorious Service Award, Bradford Patico, Meritorious Service Award, Lester Gilbert Ely, Meritorious Service Award, Albert Smith, Meritorious Service Award, Stephen Humes, JP, Meritorious Service Award, Lucio Alcocer, Meritorious Service Award, Maria Muschamp, Meritorious Service Award, Daniel Konaki, Meritorious Service Award, Brother Carl Swift, SJ, Meritorious Service Award, Nelson Robinson, Meritorious Service Award, and Pedro Guerra Mena, Meritorious Service Award. God.
Several schools were represented this morning at the annual Children's Rally that makes us a part of the September celebrations calendar. The rally had just under 2 hours of entertainment and speeches conducted for the primary school students who came out from Wesley, Grace Primary, All Saints, St. Luke's, Holy Redeemer, among others. Minister of State with responsibility for youth and sports, Elodio Aragon, was present at this morning's event and told Love News that this rally is done with an aim at reinforcing the importance of love for country.
This morning it's all about being sovereign and strong and together as one. And you know, having all our young people, they are the present and they are the future of this country. We talk about leaders. This is our future leaders here. And I think that it is important, especially in this month of September, where we have all these September celebrations, especially the 21st that's coming up. We need to instill in them that sense of patriotism, that sense of being Belizean, being proud and being strong of who we are as a Belizean people. And I think no group of people is better to impact upon than our children, you know, who is our future.
Today's event is only one of a few more aimed at inspiring young minds. Aragon did concede this morning that there is much more that can be done to teach children the importance of sovereignty and patriotism.
I think we try, but I think there's a big room for improvement. You know, I mean, when you travel and you see how people are patriotic in their own countries, you know, I think Belize, we need to improve upon that. And I think a lot of it has to be done. And it has to start from the home to the schools to everything we do as a nation. You know, and I think there's always room for improvement on that. And I think that those are some of the things we have to begin to look at. Because at the end of the day, it is from the very young that we begin to instill these attributes of being patriotic, being a Belizean, having that identity of being Belize.
The rally ended just after 10 o'clock this morning, with most children getting the remainder of the day off from school. Similar rallies took place across the country. We join correspondent Paul Mahong for what happened in Dangriga.
The rally included an inspection of Guard of Honor by members of Punta Gorda, BDF and Police Cadet Corps by Mayor Fern Gutierrez. Guest speaker was this year's B&B National Spelling Bee champion, Jahil Warrior of Bethel Seventh Days Adventist School.
First of all, I want to thank our Almighty for 35 years of being sovereign and strong, for blessing this nation with divine protection and intervention. Permit me to say that our country is unique and we, the children, have a great responsibility in keeping this country in complete sovereignty. As future leaders, let us unite under one umbrella to make a transformation in this jewel. Let us respect and execute our children's rights responsibly, especially the right to an education. Let us take advantage of all learning opportunities that comes our way for us to educate ourselves and succeed. Each of us have something we are good at. Every single one of us can offer something to our country, Belize. Now the responsibility is ours to discover what that something is.
Jahil Warrior of Punta Gorda Bethel SDA School. Other items on the program included an address by Floyd Lino of Ministry of Education Toledo Center and presentations by students of several participating schools of Punta Gorda and Toledo rural communities. Thereafter, the students also participated in a parade through some of Punta Gorda's main streets. This report is sponsored by 3-Star Quality Chicken with special Independence Celebration sale on whole chicken this Friday and Saturday, September 16 and 17 at its centers in Punta Gorda and Belize City. Reporting for Love News, Paul Mahone, Punta Gorda.
That's right, Paul is in Punta Gorda. In the meantime, correspondent Harry Arzu reports that the newly crowned Queen of the Bay was the guest speaker in Dangriga.
Several primary schools participated in a children's rally that was held today at the BTL Princess Royal Park here in Dangriga in connection with the September celebrations activities. In expressing their patriotism, students from the various primary schools here in town captured the attention of their peers and stakeholders in education with their succulent poems, patriotic songs, and other dramatic performances. Guest speaker at the event was the new Queen of the Bay, Crystalline Castillo, who encourages the students to get a good education.
It is your teacher's responsibility to guide you through your academic year. It is your parents' responsibility to make you stay on the right track. It's the government's responsibility to set high standards, support teachers and principals to ensure students receive the vital resources they need in order to have a fruitful school year. But at the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers, the most supportive parents, the best schools in the world, And none of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibilities. And guess what are your responsibilities? You guys are responsible to show up to class, to pay attention to teachers, to listen to your parents and other adults. Listen to your adults and work hard. Do the hard work it takes to become successful. Everyone has something they're good at. Everyone has something to offer. And you are obligated to find out what you're good at. The good news is, education offers that opportunity.
Following the rally at the park, the students also participated in a parade that went through some of the main streets here in town. A similar event also took place in the rural communities of the Stan Creek district. Sovereign and strong, together as one. Reporting for Love News from Dangriga, I'm Harry Arzu.
A thought-provoking post was placed on social media yesterday as it pertains to Carnival and its consumption by children. The post reads in part, and we quote, "Carnival is not for children. It glorifies alcohol consumption, it degrades women with their own participation, it approves sexual harassment and even assault. It promotes inappropriate sexual behavior. I don't think it is for children to watch or participate. I don't judge the choices of adults, and as an adult, I may even find enjoyment in the performances, but imagine what an 8-year-old is thinking when they see the debauchery of today's carnival. Drinking in excess is fun and cool. Exposing my body for all to see and feel is okay. They teach me in school about inappropriate touch, but it is actually fun and enjoyable." End of quote. It is a post that generated almost 200 reactions from the wider public. One woman responded to the post saying, and we quote, "There should be a separate event for kids like Trinidad has." Another person noted, and we quote, "Events are rarely kids-friendly anymore in this country." And another contributor noted, "I think you are right. The last time my son was in Belize for Easter, we were in Placencia, and he wanted to know why was everyone rubbing up on each other, and that was not even carnival. I didn't even think about it, but children see things and absorb it." This morning, we asked the Minister of State responsible for Youth and Sports, Elodie Aragon, to weigh in on the criticism of Carnival. He gave the diplomatic response as to not step on any toes. Here is how he responded.
It's a touchy question in terms of, it all depends on the individuals out there and stuff. I think September celebration, you have the parades. We have, for instance, the children's rally right now, the parade that is being done, I think, countrywide, which is for the kids. We'll have the 21st September parade that we'll have. I think we had some parades for the 10th. I think there's a bit of everything in September for everybody, and I think that has been with us for a long time. When you talk about the carnival, it's not just last year we started, it's been around for quite some time. And it's now, to a large extent, I believe, a part of the Belizean culture for September celebrations, that carnival is there. And I don't see how we could take that out. And like I said, it's all it's a responsibility of everybody who participates in these events, especially at carnival, and what would I say? It's part of us now, and all we ask is those who are there to be responsible.
Carnival is slated for tomorrow in Belize City. It starts on Cesar Ridge Road onto Central American Boulevard and ending at the Marion Jones Sports Complex. You can stay tuned to Love FM and Love Television for coverage. This weekend will be the busiest one since the September festivities began. There will be celebrations in numerous locations as Belizeans get ready to celebrate in the name of independence. One event that will not require much energy but rather just an appreciative ear for music is the concert Song for the People, taking place at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts on Sunday evening with conductor Frankie Reno. Love News met up with him today to find out what Sunday evening will entail.
I came to the new composition called Song of the People, which will be performed on Sunday at 6 at the Bliss, and it's free. I think you heard that before. But that was a commissioned work for the 35th anniversary of independence. I seem to do all the independence, 25, now 35. Soon I won't be able to do any more, I'm sure. But for now, that's what I've been working on. It took me about 6 months to write. And it's a series of songs reflecting different aspects of our culture and our people, hence it's called Song of the People. And it's a wonderful work complemented by some writings that Kim at the Bliss has done to weave a kind of magic spell around the whole work and make it even more wonderful to listen to and look at. No, nothing at all to do with the piano. I am not playing any instrument. I am conducting. It's a performance using the orchestra, string orchestra with the trumpets, the brass, and the woodwind. There's some steel band in it, in the whole orchestra. And there's a band as well, because there's a sort of rock number in it. It's a mixture of styles, but all held together by a kind of theme, the theme of Belize, and also about values, about preserving the earth, and finally with Ernestine singing Shout Belize, which is a very rumbustious, exciting number, which she does very well.
The event starts at 6 o'clock and is free of cost. Our thought conditioner for today is from Mahatma Gandhi. It reads, and I quote, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." This has been the Evening News on Love Television. We invite you to log on to our website, www.lovefm.com, for transcripts of our news stories. I thank you for watching. I am Ernesto Vasquez.